Hey everybody, it's Christine. I just wanted to take an opportunity to come on and say Happy National Keto Day. Did you even know there was a keto day? Well, I didn't even realize that or remember it until Craig texted me and say Happy National Keto Day. And I was like, "What? There's a National Keto Day?" Okay, so this is exciting. I have to come on and just share a little bit about National Keto Day, and I just wanted to ask you if you know what keto can do for you. So I just thought I'd share a few little stories and ask you some questions to just find out what you think of keto. I know it gets a lot of bad press in the media. I don't watch the news. I don't read mainstream media. I tend to ignore all of that garbage. But I know that, like, for example, Dr. Oz today said something about it causing heart problems. I'm like, ugh. I didn't even read it. I couldn't be bothered. But what I do know is that I have a cardiologist who happens to be the head of cardiology at Beaumont Hospital, my local hospital, and he actually is very supportive of my ketogenic lifestyle for me and has monitored my heart function for years. And he's very happy and excited for me and says, just keep doing what I'm doing. It's working for me. So if you have good doctors and you have good resolve and the desire to make sure that you're on a good path for health and wellness, I mean that's what you have to do when you set out on a new path for health and wellness. It is always a good idea to be have medical intervention as well. And I have great doctors, so I hope you do too. But anyhow, what can keto do for you on this National Keto Day? First of all, I would like to say that keto is not a diet. Keto is it's a state of metabolic health, meaning that you are eating very low carb, so your body has switched to burning ketones as a source of fuel instead of burning up the sugar that most standard American diets constantly put into our diet. Some of us are unfortunate and we have metabolisms that when we add all of that excess sugar and refined carbohydrates to our diet, it really messes up our insulin hormone. Insulin is our fat storing hormone, and when we overload it, we end up storing fat. So, keto is, I like to say, it's not a diet, it is a metabolic state of health. And some of us need to have that metabolic state of health. So, that's what I would like to say about the keto diet. So, what can keto do for you if you are struggling in obesity or chronic health issues that you haven't been able to reverse with your standard calorie in, calorie out, or eat less, move more types of ways to get healthy? I think the keto diet could do a lot for you. I am really entrenched in the low carb community. I see so many success stories and just wanted to share today, a few examples of what keto can do for you because almost 5 years ago today, on January 13th, 2017, I discovered the Diet Doctor website when I did a random Google search on hormones and fasting. Because I knew that the way I was starting to research and get information that the way to heal my health issues was to get my hormones under control, get them healthy. And so that's why I was Googling hormones and fasting. Landed on the Diet Doctor website, which is the biggest and the best website in the world for the low carb lifestyle and ketogenic lifestyle and fasting lifestyle. So it's a great place to start. I send everybody there for all the sciencey information, which I love. But yes, what can keto do for you? You can find all kinds of success stories there, like I mentioned. And for me in particular, keto was able to reverse so many chronic health issues, but the ones I love to talk about are having no more headaches or migraines. I have no more joint inflammation and pain and stiffness and achiness. Sugar is so inflammatory, so getting the sugar out of your diet really helps to eliminate that. I think with the migraines and the headaches, the sugar rebounds I was getting daily headaches, living off Excedrin. Never have to do that now. So the headaches and migraines, the joint inflammation, I reversed my fatty liver disease with a low carb lifestyle, and that was verified by an ultrasound, a recheck ultrasound, and my liver was completely healthy, no longer full of fat. I reversed my obstructive sleep apnea. Weight loss has a habit of helping reverse that, so that was awesome. I no longer have metabolic syndrome. I no longer have insulin resistance. I didn't even know what those were until I landed on the sciencey information about the keto lifestyle. I had been told for many years, every time I went into the doctor's office and walked in there, with shame and guilt about my obesity, been told I had metabolic syndrome. Nobody ever told me about insulin resistance, and had maybe one doctor or one nutritionist, one person told me what was going on in my body with my insulin, how insulin was my fat storing hormone and I needed to get it under control. And the way to do that is to get carbohydrates, sugar out of your diet. That would have been some really useful information for me, over the 30 years I tried to lose weight. But I'm not complaining about not knowing until I was 49 years old. I know that, there's a reason for everything, and God has a plan and a purpose, a good purpose for this. I learned a lot. I have a lot of lessons that came out of living chronically unwell for 30 years. And so I have a lot of stories to share about that and to help and encourage people through those seasons of life too. So I know it's all for a purpose, but I'm so grateful. I give praise to God for leading me down each path, each little step that He dragged me through to get to this point. First and foremost, by finally, putting on my heart that something needed to drastically change about my health as the chronic health issues mounted. Something had to change, and so He gave me a little bit of information, a little bit at a time throughout the journey, and so just so grateful for that, and most of all grateful for the tool of keto. I consider keto is my tool. Keto and intermittent fasting are the tool that helped me get healthy. Uh, but the best part about this healing journey has been the emotional healing and most importantly the spiritual healing. Just seeing how God's hand was at work and at play through the whole thing, knowing my history of being obese for 30 years and finally like being dragged out of that, actually picked up. I like to envision Him picking me up out of that pit. And He has to be really strong to do that because I had a lot of weight, not only on my body, but I had a lot of weight on my heart and my soul. So on this National Keto Day, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think keto could do for you? Or a low carb lifestyle. Maybe like I ate strict keto because I was very sick. I was very close to being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and just all that. I felt exhausted every day. Chronic exhaustion is another thing I reversed, and I was just tired. I was sick and tired of living sick and tired. So something drastically had to change. So I decided to go with strict keto. A lot of people find great success just eating low carb, eliminating sugar out of their life, not eating factory food, eating from God's, what I like to say, God's smorgasbord of whole and healthy foods. And you know the saying, I can't remember who said it, but let food be thy medicine. Food, whole, rich, healthy food that from God's bounty can heal you. Not only just your body, but your heart and soul too. Just make you feel, for me, it definitely made me full of joy and have a deeper appreciation for what the true meaning of joy is. And I can definitely differentiate now between happiness and joy, and living this joy-filled life for God's glory is amazing. So happy National Keto Day. In celebration too, that website that I landed on 5 years ago, dietdoctor.com, they actually just shared my 5-year maintenance story on their website yesterday, and I'm so honored and blessed, humbled that they chose to share my story, and they allowed me to put all of my links in there, links that are going to take people to my websites so that they can see hope for healing. They can see that my journey has been a faith-based journey. which is, just full of hope for others too. And not only is my journey about weight loss, but my journey is truly about the spiritual transformation. If I had to pick one thing that I wanted to help people with for the rest of their lives, the top thing would be to get them walking through that journey of spiritual transformation and a deeper relationship with Jesus, because that is what it is all about. But anyhow, my 5-year story is featured on Diet Doctor, the biggest and best low carb website in the world. It's international. And so I would love for you to check it out. And if you're curious at all about this keto diet, I invite you to ask me questions, DM me, put some comments. I'm happy to answer them for you. But I'll put a link to the story in the comments below, and you can go check it out. And there's plenty of links in there on ways to connect with me through the story too. So anyhow, happy National Keto Day. So exciting. January 5th. By the way, it's also 4 years from the date that 4 years and 1 day from the date that I reached my weight loss goals on the keto way of eating. So lots to celebrate in the month of January. It's a great month to set your resolve. And that's why I named my coaching challenges the 21-day resolve challenge, because I fully believe that God ingrained each and every one of us with some resolve to follow him fully with our entire body, mind, heart, and soul. So I invite you to join me for the journey. Reach out if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to connect and get you pointed in the right direction and invite you in on this coaching journey with me in 2022. It's going to be great. I'll see you soon. Happy National Keto Day. Bye.